Hi, welcome to Reddit Tea Time. Names changed for privacy. My daughter has not picked up any of my or my husband's calls over this. Were we wrong to have handled it this way? My daughter, Amy, 24 female, graduated university a couple of years ago and has had several part-time jobs since then. She would work for a few months, quit, and look for another job which has better pay. At the end of last year, she asked if she could move in with us, both in our 40s, so she could save money and look for a job in the field she graduated in. That sounded good to us, so we agreed. We did not expect any kind of rent or money from her at the time, simply that she would find a job. However, it's almost August and she has not found a job yet. We asked about her job hunt and she said she was still looking and has not had any offers post-interview. I feel tricked and lied to because surely she would have found a job by now. It's been months. She has also never mentioned going to any interviews, and it felt like she was lying to keep living here. Her field is one that is looking for more women to join the workforce. She has been living here for months to essentially do nothing. So I talked to my husband and we both agreed it would be best for her to live with her aunt, my husband's sister, as she works in the same industry as the one my daughter graduated in. Maybe she could learn some things that will help her get a job quicker. We then told Amy that she needed to move out to her aunt's while she looks for a job because it's clear she isn't doing enough here and her aunt could help. She was upset, immediately asked that if she contributed to some of the bills, could she stay, but we said no. It was time for her to get more serious about applying for jobs. She said nothing and packed her bags and left. We tried calling her today to ask how her aunt's house is. She lives an hour's drive away, and she did not answer us. Instead, she sent us a spreadsheet of sorts which detailed job roles, application links, dates and stages of applications with multiple set interviews. I immediately felt guilty and tried to call her again. She won't pick up, and her aunt sent my husband a text asking us to respect Amy's privacy while she stays with her. Were we boneheads here? We tried doing what was best. Now for some comments. You're the bonehead. You both made a lot of assumptions about her job search and kicked her out without even asking about the actual job search. Unfortunately, if she hasn't found full-time work 2 years after graduating despite a regular search, there's a critical issue. Some possibilities are a low degree GPA, no relevant experience in summer or term jobs during her degree, applying to jobs she isn't qualified for, not being open to relocation, interview problems, or unreasonable salary expectations. You're the bonehead. You tried to do what was best for you, not for your daughter. It's very difficult for young people to find good employment these days. The world has changed quite a lot since you were young, and life is significantly harder for young people than it was 20 to 30 years ago. Rather than have empathy and support your daughter, you chose the role of authoritarian. It will likely be a while before you hear from her again. You're the bonehead. Unless she has been a habitual liar, you had no reason not to trust her. She brought out the evidence to show you that she's been trying, and you rightfully should be feeling shame. As you said, her aunt is more knowledgeable about your daughter's field than you. You should have first asked your daughter if she's talked to her aunt for advice about the field. Instead, you chose a path that made her feel as if 1, you either didn't trust her or have confidence in her, and 2, that you don't fully have her back. I have certain religious dietary restrictions that include not eating certain things and fasting during certain religious times. My husband doesn't. When I'm required to fast, he thinks it's hilarious to go to my favorite restaurant, get my favorite dish to go, and eat it in front of me. When I tell him he's being mean-spirited, he says that I'm doing it to myself and that I could partake if I really wanted to, and that I shouldn't get irritated with him. I tried not to let it bother me, but he does this every time. I usually just leave the room, but then he says I'm being too sensitive. Am I the bonehead? Edit. He's religious too, just not the same kind. This also only started a few years ago. Now for some comments. Not the bonehead. What he's doing is mean-spirited. He's taunting you and he's enjoying it. That's the opposite of loving behavior. Not the bonehead. The issue doesn't seem to be eating when you can't. It's the fact that he's purposely taunting you. He clearly doesn't respect you, your culture, or your religion. Not the bonehead, but your husband is a bully. Not only does he disrespect your religious beliefs, he gets his jollies from eating your favorite dishes in front of you when you're fasting. I'd think long and hard about your future with this man. He's openly mocking in a cruel fashion over and over again the person who he's supposed to love the most. Not the bonehead. Also, why are you with a man who doesn't take your deeply held religious beliefs seriously? It sounds like he's trying to get you to cave in and give it up. Did he get together with you thinking he could convert you? I, 29 female, own a bridal shop. My cousin Lucy, 27 female, is getting married in 2 months, and I designed and tailored her wedding dress as a gift. She paid me for the materials. It will take another week to finish the dress, and I constantly update Lucy on the status of her dress and asked if she's happy at every stage and if she had any more ideas. She would make the odd comment, but never anything major. The dress in total took me just over 4 months. Last weekend, her and her fiancé hosted a family dinner, and at the end, Lucy announced she was pregnant. At the dinner, I congratulated her and her fiancé. She came to my store with my aunt that week for her final fitting. I again mentioned the pregnancy and asked how far along she was. She was 12 weeks along and told me how hard it was to keep the pregnancy a secret. I told her the dress wouldn't fit her at 20-ish weeks during the wedding, and she said she knew, and asked me to retailor the dress to fit her new proportions as she would be showing heavily at the wedding. I told her I can't do that due to the intricate beading that I will have to carefully remove and reattach. I told her she might as well get a new dress as it would be easier for me to start from scratch, and essentially I was just making her a second wedding dress. She agreed, and then I gave her the invoice for a new dress. I gave her the breakdown and charged her for materials, tailoring, labor, and overtime, still with a discount. I'll have to work outside my hours to make her the new dress on time as I have a busy schedule with existing clients that pay full price. I told her if she had told me about her pregnancy from the second she found out, I might have been able to adjust the dress then, but it's complete now. She said her fiancé wanted to keep it private, which I understand, but I wouldn't have told anyone, and I only needed to know for the dress purposes. She called me the bonehead for not understanding where she's coming from and said she'll only pay for materials. I refused to back down and told her that this close to the wedding, she'll struggle to finalize a new dress she likes and get it tailored in time as she'll be pregnant. I also refused to give her the dress sketch as it was my design and I didn't want her to replicate my work elsewhere. She left angry with her mom, who later called me up to say Lucy is upset about not having a dress this close to the wedding and that I'm being cruel because this dress is not good for the baby. Now for some comments. Not the bonehead. She knew she was pregnant and didn't tell you. You're under no obligation to foot the bill. Sucks that it will cost her money, but actions have consequences. Not the bonehead. This sub is filled with brides who seem to think their family members in a serious profession will work for free and with limited information because family. Guarantee she will not have tried to pull this with a bridal shop where she wasn't related. Not the bonehead. You gave her a free wedding dress. I think it's fine to say I don't have time and resources to make a completely new dress for free. But I would give her the dress that you made and give her the option to go to someone else to get it tailored if she's stuck on that. That way, you don't have to deal with her anymore and she can pin the failure or frustration of the dress on someone else. Above all, I just encourage you to try to find a peaceful resolution here. Avoiding drama has its own value. Not saying do work for free, but have a meeting with her, her mother, and fiancé and really try to find a resolution and help them to understand your limitations and all the work you've done out of kindness up to this point. I'm traveling with 5 friends now and we're traveling cheap. However, we had one long layover in an airport with a great VIP lounge. The thing about these lounges is that they have free food and liquor and comfortable chairs and shower facilities. I told my friends what I was about and they all said that they didn't want to waste money. So I went to the lounge by myself. I had some snacks, a few drinks, a quick nap, a long hot shower, and then I caught up with my friends at the gate. My phone was fully charged, I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and a little drunk. When we started talking, they were complaining about the cost of everything at the airport. They asked why I looked so pleased with myself. I told them about my stay in the lounge. 2 of them got visibly angry. They said I was a bonehead for not telling everything there was in the lounge. They had actually spent more on food and drinks than I had. Plus, I got to nap in a comfy chair and have a shower. I said that lounges aren't a secret and that the internet exists. They could have looked up the same information I did. Now for some comments. Not the bonehead. You told them what you were going to do, and at this point, everyone should have an idea of what lounges have in them. Not your fault they didn't want to check it out. They say they didn't want to waste money, but they went and bought food in the airport anyway. With a long layover, lounges are an amazing hack, especially if you want cocktails. Airport cocktails can be like $30. 2 cocktails and you've paid for your lounge pass. However, Maybe don't gloat about the great time you've had when you're with people who had a rough time, especially if you've got to travel together. Keep the peace. Everyone sucks here. You suck because not everyone travels or knows all that information. A good friend would at least inform their travel companions of all the benefits so they could all enjoy together. Your friends suck because you're not responsible for their choices and they could have asked you what all the lounge fee includes. I've traveled with friends before and had the same dilemma of them not wanting to spend the money, but I took the 5 minutes to explain what all was included, and then we all enjoyed the lounge together. What do you think? Please let me know in the comments below. If you like these stories, please consider subscribing. Hopefully, I'll see you in the next Reddit story. In the meantime, please take care of yourself. Bye for now.